I'll give a countdown from 5.
All right, sounds good.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. So,
Welcome.
yeah, welcome. This is special mode. Basically, we put a file name to our character, and that gives us 10k gold every time we go to the menu. And what me and Boyo are both doing here, we are maxing out our speed stat to begin with, and then we're gonna go straight into the level. And every time I beat a level, we also can go to the shop menu and buy some items. And we're gonna have some differences in our what we buy, so it'll be interesting. But I'll let Boyo say a few things as well.
Yeah. So we're using the special name 10K Infinite Gold, and that just allows us to buy anything and everything that we need throughout. First and foremost is getting that. Run of this game is getting crystals. It's those crystals that you saw us pick up to enter this first.
Yeah, so the first thing, we need all the 100 red crystals. It's pretty lenient to begin with. There's a lot of red crystals that you can skip and be okay. Whereas there's the exact amount of white and black crystals later in the game. So, like right now, like we're skipping ones that aren't convenient and getting the ones that are along the way so we can get 100 red crystals. The crystal count is extremely important because if we miss a crystal, we'll have to redo a level, which is gonna take a lot of time to redo a level. So hopefully that doesn't happen to either of us. But
Oh, I don't think it will. We both have been playing this game quite extensively over the last few months. And though there's a lot of memorization with this game, once you get it cemented in, like writing a book, that's probably the one of the drawbacks to running this game. All the memorization that you need to do. That's for
yeah, I'll give a shout out to Turbo, Turbo FX. I believe he found or sort of like found a way for in the one player mode to get the nightmare skip recently, and that's been a big deal. Because I like as soon as I started playing and doing runs, that was kind of found, and so I've been able to like find a pretty consistent setup for nightmare skip.
Oh, nightmares.
But
All the fun happens in the last realm.
yeah, but that won't happen until 2 hours into the run, so nothing to worry about yet. There is a clip to skip, so like you're intended to collect all these golden icons from gargoyles, and there's a way to skip doing that by clipping through the gate or the door, and you'll be see. So we don't have to collect the golden icons. There's a way around that, so you'll be seeing that. But I think I'm gonna lock in and get it going.
Plenty of time. This is a marathon, not a sprint.
But yeah, I would have liked to do a couple more runs like the last couple days, but I had to work 13 hours on Thursday night, which was crazy, and then I went straight to bed last night because I had to get up early. I usually don't get up as early as I.
Interesting fact. In this where we will save and load and bypass cutscenes. In the GameCube version, which is the version we're playing, it's actually slower to do that when you pick up a runestone. Unlike the other versions, we just watched the cutscene for that.
Yeah, so I mean it's somewhere around like even. It's not like if you were to save and load there in GameCube, but it's just there's extra text boxes when you save and load on GameCube, and it's just it takes longer for those sequences that it does in PlayStation 2 and Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the first like real like big strat I guess is in Mausoleum, and there's something called Mausoleum Clip. I might not go for it just because it's kind of jank and it doesn't save that much time.
Cuts out a little bit of the path for that final bit, but it's not. It saves a few seconds at most, I'd say.
Yeah, but in a marathon, it's kind of questionable for me to.
Safety strats. Safety strats.
So I'm not sure if Boyo kind of turns on and off levitate here. I kind of just let it go because I don't want it in my menu, but I wouldn't be surprised if he keeps it.
Levitate?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'll be keeping levitate throughout the run.
I'm more of a fan of the invulnerability, which hopefully I'm trying to write that. That's the part I was kind of last working on, was where to buy invulnerability and when to use it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll definitely get into that in the next few weeks. I'll keep playing. I'm gonna get that sub 250.
Get that sweet sub 250.
Was on pace with about 3 runs now, and just kind of got unlucky with Nightmare Clip and other things. So. Another thing that really hasn't been brought, so we're getting strength upgrade, and what that does is, like with the super shot on bosses, it'll do more damage when you have maxed out strength. Like the more strength you have, the more damage you do. It's pretty important for the bosses coming up.
Yes, as the game progresses, having max. Plus, the game needs a little bit of time to load the transition from going in load. Really an okay thing to do. Gives the game a little more time to load.
Yeah, the soundtrack I really like in this game, and I just kind of zone out to it. But it was found that maybe by turning off the sound, that some of the clips were easier to do, but that's a sacrifice that I wouldn't make. So I gotta have that background music.
Gotta have those sweet, tasty jams.
But I think Boyo was messing around with it for a little bit, trying to do runs with no background music.
Yeah, I've been working on no music, and I don't know, or me getting better at certain. Have to do some more testing with it to.
Kind of getting low on health here myself. I usually not this low, but hopefully we can make it.
Don't forget the drumstick that's near that. If you're
So I pick up this Phoenix here and I use it on the Lich now. I didn't do that earlier, but it saves, I think, like a second and a half maybe to have that Phoenix on the Lich.
speed versus entertainment? Good question. One thing is where we could shorten the game. A lot of hypothesis across our way.
Piccolo!
There's always one thing that stands in our way. As if the developers what was going on, and they wanted to put in a couple fail safes. For that reason.
As long as I can make it to the end of Mazzolian, I'm good, but this has been a definitely a rough start here. Yeah, I hope the audio's sounding good as far as like game audio to mic. Like, I imagine the game audio might be like way louder than my mic, but I don't know.
I would think so.
Now I'm good on health. I'm not worried about health.
Bene.
So there's like I think a slight variation to our crystal route. It's pretty similar, but there's a couple. I think there's a couple blue crystals that we might have differences on, and there's I can't like off the top of my head think of which one. Like, but there's a couple things that I saw that.
Well, the last time I checked, getting one extra. I'm gonna try to eliminate during this marathon, and then
okay.
The major difference is one yellow crystal that I don't pick up, that you're gonna pick up.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna pick up yellow crystal up in a level called the barracks.
Yeah, yeah. I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Rollin Deep.
Rollin Deep!
That's right.
Okay. So, I don't know if you went for Mausoleum Clip. I'm probably not going to do it here.
I did.
Okay. Because if I go for that and start failing it, there's like no chance of PB. Where I might be able to squeeze a PB out of this still, but we'll see.
Damn it.
Yeah, so I think he just missed one of the strats that I found, which is if you go to inventory or shop or any menu during that, after that cutscene. Hold up, I gotta menu.
So basically, you can bypass that runestone cutscene because you have a couple, like a frame or two to hit the start button and get. And Sumner just stands there looking.
We can still turn
Yeah,
around and
I
go
got
home
it
if
on
we
my
want.
end, so it shows up.
Be strong, Yamcha.
Like basically, Sumner will appear, and it'll just kind of like pan over to him, and then he'll just not say anything, and then he'll just go. And you have that buffer, you can get into the portal during that time, and then you'll immediately go to the boss fight there. When I timed it, it's like 4.5 seconds those days, but that's just what I got. So, not a very good province for me, but I'm going to turn it around and I'll catch back up to Boyo. He's a little bit ahead.
You got this.
Okay. So the only two bosses that I buy anything on, or the first two, is the dragon and the lich. And I do that because I want to get my strength up, and then I want to get magic going to maximum as well. And then after that, I don't buy anything after any of the boss fights, which you think you would because you get a bunch of gold, but it's slower, so...
Yeah, because by the time you go getting your level, your points, and your stats, the game save load state. So spending too much time in the shop is actually detrimental to the overall of the game.
Yeah, and we save and we load after every boss because there's a cutscene that tells you that you've gotten the what's it called,
the shard
the
for
shard.
the boss.
It's over 9,000.
So we don't want that because it's much slower. I think it's like 3 seconds or so. I don't know exactly off the top of my head, but it's definitely slower to let that cutscene play out.
It's a time waster.
Okay. So hopefully neither of us get caught in dagger peaks by the golem, but I've not had any issues with that lately. We'll see.
Oh, ye of little faith, good sir. I could totally screw that up for you. Nah, let's not. Let's not. I've actually been working on some different stuff with that one.
Okay. So another thing, like I pick up specific items and I make sure to kind of skip or waste ones that I don't want. Like there is a spot where we have to pick up X-ray and nobody wants that in a speed run, so I just kind of waste it up. And knowing when I have the items I have and knowing how to menu to them and all of that, it's really important to me because I need to be able to get to Mikey and get to Electric Shield and know where that's at. And it saves a big chunk of time just menuing properly and being able to pull out your Electric Shield when you need it to get enemies out of your way, or getting Mikey out at specific times is pretty crucial to the run. And shoutouts to
Which brings up an interesting point.
Go ahead.
Get your shoutouts in. Are more familiar with playing this on the PlayStation 2, you'll know that in the PlayStation 2 version, you actually don't get the option to save your items. So the run is kind of different when you play it on a PlayStation 2, because you kind of have to manage your items so that you don't run out while you're in the
Dagger Peak.
Dagger Peak.
Yeah, there's a couple gargoyles that are problematic, and there's a couple golems that can really just ruin your day. And the other day I got the polar bear had me right where he wanted me. So that was pretty good. That was really good, actually. That was a really good section right there. I'm actually very proud of that. Solid dagger piece.
Yatta!
Yatta! But my plan is to slowly creep on Boyo and then just completely put him in the dust.
Yep.
You know, guys,
I like this plan.
It's not too late. We can still turn around and go home if we want.
We're coming up on
Good come from behind
one
victory.
of the clips after the dragon. We've got to clip through the right wing into the. So we'll see. It can be kind of finicky at times, but usually it happens. I don't know. I usually don't lose too much time, but you could lose like 20 seconds potentially if it just really doesn't want to work for you, I guess. Or you just lose 20 seconds on this level like me.
That is totally what happened to me during warm-ups, that did not want to cooperate.
Okay, this is not a good level here for me. We will be picking up an invulnerability here. I'm pretty sure he picked one up already, but I'll be picking one up here. And yeah, I'm gonna lose some time on that one. That was not a good stage. So, I'm going to have max strength, and I believe he is too, by the end of, right before the dragon, and then...
Piccolo!
Nope, I'll actually have...
standing there long enough to hear all of your senseless bickering.
Okay. I get mine maxed at the cave, and then, on the next level I buy super shots and poison... I buy the poison amulet, which I do believe saves time, adding more damage. And it actually, there's a couple bosses
I have to concur with that.
Yeah, there's a couple bosses that it doesn't work, which is the Vat of the Plague Fiend and the Lich. It actually does less damage. And that it just doesn't work at all on him. Use poison amulet.
Unsurprisingly, because I thought for the longest time that kind of stuff didn't really matter. Like, the elements didn't do extra damage.
Yeah, it definitely saves
a run.
a few seconds on bosses gradually, so it doesn't, because you're using super shot, so it doesn't seem like super shot and the amulet would combine, but it seems that they do. So
yeah, you'd think they wouldn't stack, but they definitely do stack.
As long as I don't level up here, we're good. I have a level up kind of route, and if that kind of goes off the rails, it gets ugly because I don't know when to oh, I leveled up. Like right at the last enemy on the damn it. Because I max out on my stat here, which makes the level ups shorter, but here I level up and I don't have max strength, so it's a little bit slower. I also want to get to level 10 on the dragon so that I can combine two cutscenes.
How long have you been standing
after the dragon, I can
to
combine the
hear all
shard
your
cutscene
senseless
and
bickering?
the level 10 cutscene together when I save and load. So,
which cuts out time, which is super nice.
I think it's about an 8-second cutscene for the level 10. Yeah, so these scorpions are like the bane of my existence because they blend into the blue ground here. And
yeah,
I swear, like I'm walking and I'm like, I'm not moving. What's going on? And there's a damn scorpion right there.
It's like, come on, dude, really? Just.
And so do the blue, like the other enemies. Like the blue on blue just doesn't work very well.
It is not good.
The scorpions because they're tiny. You can't even see them at all until they've just completely blocked you, and you've lost a couple seconds just running up against them and getting nowhere.
Oh, Sumner, why have you forsaken me?
So I let off some extra super shots on this gargoyle to get some experience. It's all to get to level 10. Which it like cost me a couple seconds to do, but then it saves me like the time in the cutscene.
No, guys, it's not too late. We can still turn around and go home if we want, right? Be strong, Yamcha.
So here you're gonna see the weapon in full strength upgraded on the dragon, and it's just a super fast fight. Also, the dragon has like the least health of any boss. But I get to level 10 here as planned. And I crept up to Boyo a little bit. I think he made up some time there. But not a particularly great run for me, but we're rolling deep for the marathon.
Rollin Deep!
Don't forget to save after dragon.
Oh. We'll even up here.
Yep, I hear it. You had the lead, boy. What happened? What happened?
Choke City.
Can't be mashing A, man. Alright, so here we go on. We're both coming up to the clip at the same time, so this will be interesting. I actually unequipped my super shot in beliefs that it helps a little bit, but that could be superstition. I had it. Okay, I got it. Good. So I think he's going for it still.
We're in. We're rolling.
We're rolling deep. Now we're heading up on the castle courtyard. This level,
2 realms down.
yeah.
30 minutes.
There's a lot of explosive guys around every corner, and it gets kind of difficult to keep up with how many Mikeys you're supposed to place to get this out of the way. It might honestly be a good thing to use some of that invulnerability here on this level, because they are just kind of a problem here. That and there's a goddamn gargoyle right off the bat, and
yeah, George here, the gargoyle, just likes to hang out in the most awkward of spots.
yeah, if he gets in the middle of that bridge, it's no bueno. It's
oh, I'm fully anticipating him trolling me on the bridge. I have no doubt about it.
Okay, let's see what happens with me. Okay, okay, that was really good. That's what I like to see right there. Okay. It's a very intensive level.
Very intense. There's just so much going on. All the minions and generators. As Green Mixtape had mentioned, the suicide bombers.
Suicide bombers, yes.
Makes life rough.
There's I think 6 or 7 of them in this level. It's just
There, yeah, at least.
And they will knock you on your fate. You will be on the ground, wondering what you are doing, wondering what happened.
Feels bad.
Okay. There's one locked door there that we don't have to go in, and sometimes we forget because it's.
You just think you have to go through all of them.
Yeah.
You just use.
And there's another thing where enemies kind of spawn, and their sprite is very small, but their hitbox is not small at all. It's just kind of like you'll think you're good to go, and then you're just stuck and you're caught because the enemy has just spawned, and it's like in its infant form, and it's still there. It's just you can't really see it that well, and they will block you. It's just very annoying. It happens with the rats in particular. Here I like to buy electric shields, like a whole stack of them, because that's a very crucial item.
Yeah, I usually stall on buying
Piccolo!
shields and
How long have you been standing there?
toward the end of this round.
To hear all of yours.
I was not picking up electric shields until later.
That feel when you run out of electric shield and you just don't know how to, counter that. And
Yeah, you just run out of turbo and crap.
Ah, crap. Somehow I got reflective armor there. I'm not sure what happened. I
Must have been extra.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know if they're worth the same, like gold-wise.
They're worth 400, I believe. so there's a general here in this level that can be a problem.
It can be.
Let's see how he's feeling today. Oh, he's kind of there. He's kind of there. He's thinking about it.
He's wondering.
He got in a couple swings. I'll say that. Oh man. Okay.
I think I missed the yellow crystal.
The one. I mean, there's a backup, but it's not not ideal.
I gotta remember where it is.
Piccolo!
Hey, what's up,
How long
guys?
have you been standing there?
Participating in the Rollin Deep Marathon
Senseless bickering.
to get the full picture.
Okay. Yeah, so this is the level that Boyo's gonna get a yellow crystal that I will not be getting. It's also where I believe I'm gonna catch about 15 seconds on him on that one. But he'll gain it back when he. Well, if he missed that other yellow crystal, then he's gonna have to get that one too. So.
Yeah, I'll probably end up being behind.
But luckily, there is a backup for missing a yellow crystal at this point. If there's a point when it's too late, when it's like, well, there is no backup. Hopefully, neither of us have that issue. So.
I'm just shocked that I actually missed. I'm just like, where did I miss that one? When did I miss that?
What happened?
A good 30 seconds, because there's a yellow crystal I'm getting in this level that is actually like out of the way that we eliminated, but since I'm behind, I'm just grab it for the sake of safety than anything.
Yeah, so I skipped the yellow crystal he's talking about just now.
Courtyard that I missed.
Crap. Ooh, okay, I unstuck myself. I got like stuck on the stairs and. You know what? I know how to block Sumner. You don't need to tell me. I just choose not to block. Okay, that was not particularly great.
Piccolo! How long have you been standing there? Long enough to hear all of your senseless bickering.
And as far as my PB goes, the end game was pretty good, and I mean I'm able to save about a minute to a minute and a half. Earlier, but then when I get to late game, it's like.
I'm just now getting to the end of barracks.
Yeah, it feels bad, man. It feels bad.
Yeah, GG.
I'll get that crystal on the way back. Ah, I'm out of turbo. I'm out of levitate as well. And I gained a level, which is nah. Okay, I have to grab that green crystal on the way back. Yeah, so, you know, a lot of times Mikey, when you place him, I mean, enemies will just completely almost walk out of your way, like entirely just walk out of your way, and that's what you want to see.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll place a Mikey, but they'll still be in your way. You want to place it in such a way that they're completely out of your way. Okay, so my blue count's good. Yeah, this level up is bad, but it kind of has to happen.
Piccolo! How long have you been standing there?
Long enough to hear all of your senseless bickering.
Okay. So, I'm on the level ahead of Boyo. I'm heading into the treasury. It's got a gargoyle that you don't want to wake up. There's a way to just have him not wake up and not bother you, but if he wakes up a little early, then most likely he's going to be a problem. So I try to go a certain way so I avoid even waking him up until you know, the very end. Level up height. Oh, I should have placed a Mikey there. Ooh, okay, I should not have done that. Some of these generals, they have like docile behavior, which means if you don't bother them, they will not bother you. But as soon as you hit them, or you run into them, or you kind of aggro them, they'll come after you, and they won't stop coming after you. So, not.
Oh yes.
Not good in that situation.
And as the game, it's not good. It's not good.
But the gargoyle, I did the gargoyle right, so I should be able to get around him no issues. That's the main thing. But that general might be a problem on the way back, which is not good. So, gargoyle should be kind of in a daze, yeah, and I can go down here. These rats are always a problem, and then boom, right around the gargoyle. Genius. I'm loving it.
I'm loving it.
And here's the general I woke up and he's actually that worked out in my favor, so can't complain. My greens are good. Okay, this is my yellow count's good. Yeah, okay. So my crystal count is on point right now. So far so good on that. Hopefully that keeps up. and now I'll be hitting into the Chimera and destroying him. So bosses are really difficult in this game, by the way. They're just too much for me to handle.
I'll tell you what.
I mean, they really pose a threat to,
How long have you been standing
to
there?
your run,
Long
that's for sure.
enough to hear all of your senseless bickering.
Into your
Really, the only thing you gotta watch out for is making sure you have enough ammunition for the boss. If you run out of super shot or hammers, whatever you're using, it's no good.
It's pretty repetitive.
Oh shit! Oh, come on! Okay. Okay, so my leveling is good so far. It gets off track if I have to hit a general, or like if I have to hit like a gargoyle a bunch of times to get him out of my way, and then I start leveling up when I don't want to, and then that causes problems for me. But right now we're on track, so that's good.
So you're like a minute and a half ahead of me, right?
What happened, Boyo? What happened? You had like 30 seconds on me.
That yellow crystal is what happened. Somehow I missed one.
Yeah, I think it was the one in dungeon, the one that next to, or did you get that one?
I'm pretty sure I lost yard. It was probably the one next to the golem.
Oh, okay.
That
Oh, I
didn't
know.
catch.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Piccolo! How long have you been standing there?
Long enough to hear all of your
So-
senseless bickering.
You know, Ship, this is when levels start getting kind of long. In particular, Cloud Docks is like a, I think, 7-minute level or so. Yeah, like 6.5 minute level. I'm gonna grab those keys because it looks like I'm short for some reason. It's not a good feel when Sumner tells you you need keys to open the door, and you don't. Not so sure where those keys are. But in special mode, you can always buy keys to make up for anything. But
Indeed.
you want to kind of keep an eye on your key count and don't want to get to 0. That's happened to me in runes in the pyramid, and man, feels bad. This golem can really be a problem. Hopefully he's nice today. Yep, okay. Thank you, golem. I've lost like 20 to 30 seconds on that one before. Okay, I probably should not have gone for those crystals like that. But I would like to give a shout out to everyone watching the Rollin Deep Marathon. Shout outs to Glower, who I don't think made it to watch this run. Maybe he'll show up at some point. But shout outs to Hito Kage for all the technical behind the scenes action with Unlink as well. Ah, man, these green barrels. Oh, what is that? What's going on here? Go, Boyo, go. Shout out to Miss Honor as well. She made the layout for the marathon. It looks pretty crisp.
Yes, very, very nice indeed.
Okay, let's see my. Okay, my greens are good. My green count is good. Yeah, it's important. See, my white count is good. It usually is at this point. It's like sometimes, like for some odd reason, it just happens in the jungle somewhere where it's like, well, I missed a yellow crystal here, and don't know what happened, but it's not good.
Piccolo!
Yeah, my PB was like
How
really
long
good
have you been
on
standing
these
there?
couple of
Long
splits.
enough to hear all of your senseless bickering.
It looks like I'm on pace for like a low 58 cloud dots.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's mediocre.
Don't cut yourself short.
Yeah, it's a decent run. No major mistakes yet. Hopefully there will not be any major mistakes. Get out of my way. Another thing is like when you're using electric shield, like knowing what enemies die to electric shield and when enemies don't die. A lot of times the one that don't die, I like to turbo through them. It seems to work better.
Yeah, because you can move through
them instead of electric shield will push them back and then they're in your way again. So enemies are kind of like on a tier, like they have like the weak and then the middle and then like the strong sort of thing going on. And depending on the generator, it'll spawn different enemies or different tiers. Yeah, there's a white crystal on one of these levels that I sometimes forget. As long as I don't forget that one, then it should be good. It's the one on, I think, the mothership. Where the three-way shot is.
That's the one I forget.
Yeah. And then you show up to Acid Swamp. And
This time I didn't think there was enough.
Come on, get out of my way. But Mikey really doesn't last that long. It's like, I think it's like
I'd say
10 or 15. So
it's nice to have.
it's kind of tedious to drop Mikey's like, you know, as frequently as you'll see me do, but like it's very crucial to do it in a lot of positions where there's suicide bombers and like anywhere that's just gonna get any like a flock of enemies that would rather be in your way, out of your way. pick up a runestone here. But yeah, I'm kind of sad that I had to pop out and do Archer for special mode. I am a Jester fanatic, so I'll be bringing Jester back for any percent at the bare minimum. I'm very, very excited to start those runs, but I'm pretty dedicated to get this sub 250. It's right around the corner.
Mm-hmm. You'll get it soon.
Hopefully. And hopefully I'm satisfied with the run, because if I get it and I'm like, well, I could do better, I'll find myself still grinding probably. Yeah, it's like it's gonna be like a 58-20 docs here.
Not bad. I'm looking at a 2 hour.
58-10.
Piccolo! How long have you been standing there?
Long enough to hear all of your senseless bickering.
This is one of my more favored levels of this realm, Sky Shipyard. It's pretty fast paced. A lot, like a couple like Cloud Docks. There's a lot of just kind of platforms that you have to wait for, and it's on this level too, but this level just seems more fast paced. And some of these, when you get on these elevators, you can't go back. So let's say I miss that yellow crystal, and then I get on that elevator, I'm just completely screwed at that point. There's no going back to get it.
Yeah, certain elevators that you get on them you can't. Like this one that I'm currently.
Yeah.
Any design that you see like that, it's once you go, well, that's not entirely true, but most of them are like that.
Yeah, it's a one-way ticket, so you better be confident with your crystal count when you get on those. Yeah, so far so good for me. I'm on the right counts and everything, so that's good. As long as my game doesn't crash, I'm a happy man.
I don't see any reason why.
It kind of seems like when you do things consistently, it doesn't do it, and a lot of the crash factors have kind of been removed because with Nightmare Skip, that was one level that would just crash. Where like the spot where all the fans were blowing, and it was just like this cluster of stuff going on. That's where the game just likes to take a dump. But now that we have Nightmare Skip, that skips that section of the game, which is a pretty big deal as far as that goes. I've had one in the one after Crystal, the Temple of the Magi, and not really. That doesn't seem like a common one because it only happened once, but it's not out of the question that it could crash. But I don't. It hasn't crashed on me for a while, which is good. Like the last handful of runs I've done have all run smooth.
Happening.
Okay, might not be able to make it through this gargoyle. Ah! No! I shouldn't have tried to go for that. Okay, let's see. Oh, this was a bad shipyard for me, that's for sure. Oh man. Lost like 15 seconds somehow. Ouch. So yeah, I'm going to be maxing out my magic stat actually, so I'll have 3 stats maxed. The only one I don't have maxed is armor, and I don't plan to max that out. I haven't really tested if doing that will save time, but...
It's a good question. I haven't tested it myself.
It seems like the load, like that's like the perfect amount when you get those 3 upgrades, because if you maxed out that's all 4 stats, I think you would get to the menu too fast. Like you're already, I think, getting to the exit screen faster than the game can load, I believe. So I don't think it's necessary, but in situations where, like, let's say you level up and then you want to buy something, it would certainly be faster to have everything maxed out, I would say. But it kind of outweighs, like, some of the other stuff you would want to buy, like electric shield and vulnerability.
Right.
So... Ah, the mothership.
It's a good level.
One spot where there's this clip that, you know, it's not a significant clip, but there's a switch that you have to hit, and there's like a note behind it, and you kind of want to avoid the note and get the yellow crystal, but it's not as easy as it, you know, it's made out to be.
Yeah, they're pretty close to one another.
Yeah, okay. Didn't get hit by that ship for like probably the first time ever that I've ever. So that feels good. This is one of the elevators that immediately will go up when you get on it. all the other ones kind of, if you get on it early, it thinks that you're trying to get off of it, so it like will stall for a minute. A lot of it, like 2 seconds maybe. But here comes that clip I was talking about. You basically just run through this wall without having to open it. I hit the switch, and then hopefully I can get the yellow. No, so I got the note or the thing that pops up that tells you the code for the runestone. Not a big deal, but it's ideal to try to get around that. I'll take a look at my key count here. Okay, we're good. 9 keys. Oh man. And coming up here at the end of the mothership, there's 2 gargoyles. For the most part, if you do this, do specific movement, it won't be a problem. But if you get caught in the middle of that and there's just 2 gargoyles just smacking you around, things can go bad.
Enjoy all that damage. You're gonna take all the damage.
Okay. So I got the white crystal. We're good. We're good. Crystal counts are good. Items are okay. They could be better. I don't have invulnerability or hammers. Okay, hello. That was not how I normally do that, but that's okay. It's okay. I might pick up this health here just for the safety I don't like where my health is at right now. It's kind of low, so just go ahead and pick that up. It takes like a second to grab it, and not dying is kind of. I mean, if I die, that would be what Boyo would need right now.
Yep.
So I'm just kind of gradually just losing time everywhere.
How long have you
it's like
been
a second
standing
here,
there?
a second
Long
there.
enough to hear
I also got the
bickering.
skip here, and if I can get the double, okay. So instead of having him told me I got a runestone and do all that, I skipped that there. Saves a few seconds. I should actually save time on this segment because of that. And you can't use acid here. I haven't really looked into, fire amulet and lightning amulet. As far as, could you use that on Vat? Is it worth going out and grabbing that to save, maybe the 2 seconds or whatever on him?
Right.
Because menuing to that,
I don't know.
That's already your 2 seconds are probably gone, but you could also use it on the Lich, which you can't. If you use Poison Angle on the Lich, it does less damage, so that's no bueno. Yeah, so you'll notice I don't buy anything ever on bosses anymore. I just go directly to the save menu and load. So I should save a couple seconds here.
You know, guys, it's not too late. We can still turn around and go home if we want. Right?
Be strong, Yamcha.
And here I can save 20 seconds on my PB just by getting good RNG. An acid swamp. Be good. This level is probably one of the most irritating levels if things don't go well. Away. Oh crap, okay. That's not what I want to do. Huh. Okay, we'll see how RNG is going to be for me. Hopefully not the same caliber as my PB, which was complete trash. Oh crap, oh no, okay, now I'm going the wrong way, that helps. So right here is, I need an enemy to get on this bridge and be able to get across. They are okay. That was fairly decent. It's fairly decent. I would take that any day. So even with me going the wrong way like twice, I'll probably still save time. Get out of my way. Shout out to Boyo.
Shout outs to you.
The green next day.
Doing well.
Good on that. I need to kind of manage what items I'm gonna get here
it's not
because
too late. We can still turn around and go home if we want.
I'm not sure where I'm at. I want to
Be
get
strong, Yamcha.
hammers. I want to get invulnerability, and I need enough super shots for the rest of the game. Okay, here we go.
Well, that's probably the next step in the process of
Optimization.
know how much is needed.
Yeah, I just buy in bulk and get what I feel I need, but I know I overdo it on a couple items, but in a way it's better to overdo it than to not have enough. That's for sure, but
Yes.
at the same time, I mean, when you're being too excessive with... Okay, we're good on yellow crystals, that's good. It's very important. Good on whites, that's also important. Ah, crap. Where's my invisibility? Okay. That was a sloppy menu. I mean, at this point, this is where the run kind of gets exciting for me. When we get into the forest, I mean, this is when things really start to pick up.
There's less you have to make crystal count wise, so you can focus more on shortcuts through the run.
Yeah. Like at this point, you should have all the items you need, and if you run out, you can always just buy them. But the crystal account, there's less colors to worry about, but at the same time, like, and I mean, I'm pretty comfortable with where all the crystals are late game. And I figured out like what the counts should be at all points. Like, so if I'm like, I'm missing one or something, I usually can find out where and when. It sucks to have to go back on a level to get a crystal, but it could be faster than have to redo a whole level in some cases.
I think that's fair.
So I got hammers. I think I use hammers a little bit more than Boyo. Last I checked, I think I use it in
senseless bickering.
The pyramid realm.
Yeah, I've started to incorporate it more. Seems to be a more consistent way of ridding yourself of enemies.
There is like I try to get to level 40 on Scorn, and I actually kind of grind a golem where you get to wait for a platform on haunted grounds. So I'm actually pretty under leveled, and then if I don't hit that 40 on Scorn, it looks like it's like a 5-second time loss or something like that. It's not a huge time loss, but there's a cutscene that, you know, when you turn level 40 and I like to lap it in with when I beat Scorn. Okay, see if this guy gets out of my way. Doesn't really do that.
Sometimes they just don't.
Okay. You shouldn't be bothering me anymore, but let's see. Yeah, this level, man, this is one of the... I lose like 20 seconds on this level sometimes, and there's these two generals that just, man, and then there's the big trees that you can't electric shield necessarily because they'll just...
Yeah.
You know, I think super shotting in a couple spots is a really good thing because it will take those guys out, and it's just knowing when and where to do. And I get wrecked on this level pretty consistently.
Yeah, it's a tough level. The that only appear in the are stronger. Also, defense-wise, So that's why it's so difficult to take him.
Well, to get around those generals without having to, you know, get them, like, sort of have a little scuffle with them, it's very difficult. They really want a piece of you, that's for sure. And that gargoyle,
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I've ever not gotten hit by that gargoyle in that spot. I don't know how to really, haven't really figured out a way to not get wrecked on that spot. Crap. Yeah, and then this guy. I mean, it's jam-packed with a lot of things that can cause
Nonsense and hullabaloo.
That's a perfect.
That's what I would say.
Way to sum it up.
Okay.
And then the log traps to just kind of top it off.
Mm.
Oh yes, I love this. That wasn't too bad. That was not too bad. It looks I lost time, but that was not too bad. Okay, I'm gonna buy a. Let's see.
Piccolo! How long have you been standing
Maybe get away with
Long
electric
enough
shields.
to
If I
hear
level
all
up,
of
I
your
won't buy anything.
senseless
But if I
bickering.
think I'm gonna buy electric shields on this. I could go for invulnerability. It's kind of toss up.
Yep. Not my day today.
I think Boyo's on the level I was just on, and it's it's one of the more difficult levels to do correctly. I don't even know if there is a correct way. It's just kind of don't minimize damage on that level.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch. Hurt. I'd say normal. It's a lot more straightforward than the last level. There's not as many trouble spots where there's little to no room and generals that just want to corner you.
Right.
You have a little bit more space here. Might as well grab those keys actually. Alright, I got all my yellow crystals. So we're good. He's probably gonna blow up in my blew up in my face.
Dang.
Ah. So the question is what to buy. I think I'll buy Invulnerability, but I think I'll buy Invulnerability. I think having it for some of the levels of Pyramid is a good thing. So. Go ahead and grab it. I don't know what I just bought. I think it's a reflective armor.
Piccolo! How long have you been standing there?
Long enough to hear all of your senseless bickering.
So after Queen Spider, we have to do the clip again. This time I save speed power-ups. You get one from Queen Spider. And I just go ahead and use the speed. It seems to help with the clip, but can still be finicky. It's just one of those like finicky clips where sometimes you kind of get caught trying to get the clip, and then you have to back. I back out and I try again, but hopefully this goes okay.
It'll be fine. You got this.
Yeah, saving is important. This is one of the more important ones because there's two cutscenes, the Shard cutscene and the level 20 cutscene stacked. So it's a big time loss if you don't save and load there. And I've had that. I actually had a really good run that I
Piccolo!
didn't
How long
save
have
there.
you
And
been
it
standing there?
Long enough to hear all of your
really frustrating.
senseless bickering.
I lost a good run to that. That was... Okay. Okay, good stuff. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's mediocre. Not a good clip. This is when I start to use the hammer. This can definitely still. Let's see. I think 252 or 253. Yeah. There's definitely time save I have in this realm. Okay, so snakes in this realm.
They are bad.
Actually, I should probably grab those keys. And I think enemies just spawn at a much faster rate here. Like, this is when it just starts to...
Yeah, the difficulty ramps up when you get into the desert. Then, once you get into the ice domain, it plateaus, which is...
Yeah. But it just, like, enemies are just spawning like no other, and it... it's a clusterfuck, and this spot in particular with the gargoyle, and this is just a mess. That white crystal, please? Oh, he did me dirty. Oh man, I'm out of turbo. It feels bad.
It's always a rough time when you...
Okay. I lost like 15 seconds there. Okay.
Oh, you're still ahead.
Yeah. A little more than that, actually.
Piccolo! How long have you been standing there?
Long enough to hear all of your senseless bickering.
It's okay. You know, I feel more comfortable with these levels, and that first level is just kind of city ruins. Oh.
It's ruinous.
As long as I don't soft lock on Temple Magi here. It hasn't happened. Don't expect it to happen.
Yeah, I've had that happen to me before. Not sure. I think if minion count low, it'll be fine.
Yeah, so I've been hammering, which I think makes a difference. You hammer those.
Yeah, it just comes down to the amount of assets on the mirror. Does what it does. Crashes because there's on screen and trying to load in a different zone and it can't.
Yeah. Go buy electric armor. much is that thing? Okay. That was a decent level. Shouts to Mo
No,
for
guys,
the host.
it's not too late. We can still turn around and go home if we want. Right?
Be strong, Yamcha.
We're definitely past the halfway mark on the run. This is when it starts to get interesting, especially in Nightmare and Dream. I think it's Dream Realm.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's a solid boost. Solid boost. Yeah, okay. For some odd reason, when you get that boost, you get like the immediate elevator up here. So, like, I think that seems to be consistent. Because this elevator, you have to wait for. Most of the time, you saw, like, I immediately stepped on that elevator when that was crucial. That was key plays. So I'm feeling good about that. Shouts to Hito for still being awake. Hitokage. Hito Kage. And this will definitely help with we kind of got set back on a couple of technical issues, and then a couple of runs went over, but this will balance the schedule out because we should be. Boyo's definitely on sub 3 pace still. He's definitely there. I'd say I estimate 258 for Boyo. That's my guess. But at this point in the game, there's only white and black crystals that we have to worry about. So there's only 2 crystal counts that we're looking at, and I'm definitely on the right count. So.
Yep, the run just turns into through the level.
Yeah, movement optimization and menuing electric shield, Mikey's, and vulnerability, whatnot. Levitate maybe for Boyo, I don't know if he still has that.
Yep.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah, some places I think it's just good to just drop hammers. I mean, there's just too many spawn points, too much going on. Just drop a hammer in there and get rid of it. That's my theory. That's one of the, like, there's just too much of a headache. So it's time for them to get the hammer. Didn't sneak by him. That's not good. Like there, I like drop a hammer. I leveled up, so I'm not going to buy anything. Was going to buy vulnerabilities, but it's not. Ooh, okay. Just going to level up and take that. Yeah, I actually saved time on my PB. This is really bad, my PB, actually. This is a bad section.
You know, guys, it's not too late. We can still turn around and go home if we want. Right?
Be strong, Yamcha.
This is the last level in this realm.
Pretty easy. It's a long level, though. It's the only thing that sucks about it.
Yeah. But it feels good to get that last white crystal and be on with it. There's also a lot of keys in this. You can, like, early on, if you're low on keys, it's not going to be a problem entering this. Like, there is a couple of stacks. Oh man. Okay. Well, I used my turbo up pretty early. Gonna have to start popping in some more invulnerability. Like if I know a trap's coming up, if I know a suicide bomber's coming up, if I know there's a good reason to have invulnerability up, I should definitely have it up.
Right, right.
Which that's a new development for me. I'm not on that level yet. Still trying to figure out where those places are. Ooh, like drop a hammer here, feels good. Here's like 3 suicide bombers back to back. So dropping a Mikey there is pretty important. It didn't. I kind of dropped it early. Stay hydrated. Yeah, I don't even think I took a sip of water this whole run. That's what's going on.
Not needed. You can always hydrate when you get done.
Yeah, there will be all the hydration. And possibly some chips. Okay, a couple tricky spots here. There's a golem and like a death coming up here. You can turbo through this spot early, like that, and not have to wait for it to come down. That's always a good thing. Like I think I should probably have invulnerability up for this part because he can be a problem. and this is the end of the level. So I got 59 black crystals, so that's good, and then I'm collecting my final white crystal here soon shortly. These enemies are just, they're not cutting me a break right now. I'm gonna have to drop the hammer on them.
Sometimes you gotta throw the hammer down.
Okay, yeah, I lost good time there, but that's fine. Not too much. Go ahead and buy a stack of supers.
Piccolo! How long have you been standing there?
Long enough to hear all of your senseless bickering.
See if I can menu all these. Should already have super shot up coming into this, but I don't. So Ice Domain, that's I want to say that is my favorite world or domain. You know, and then right behind it is Dream World. So like two of my favorites back to back. Even though the levels are definitely the longest, I think, in Ice Domain of any. I just really like ice levels in general.
Yeah. One of my more enjoyed realms.
Piccolo! How long have you been standing there?
Long enough to hear all of your senseless bickering.
Yep.
You got this, boy. You're gonna finish. You're gonna finish.
Yeah, but we're definitely gonna finish. We're gonna finish 2.5 minutes behind you, but we'll definitely finish.
Okay. Okay, normally I have super shot out, so I should probably get that out. Hello. That's a new one. Okay. Not a strong start. The music really gets me pumped up here too. It's close to the end of the run. The crystal collection's almost over. You've got most of your items. That was solid. Let's give a shout out to everyone holding it down for the Rollin Deep Marathon. Ooh, okay. There you go. Ah. this is where invulnerability really comes into play. There's mine carts. This is, I think, the first instance, and it really helps to have invulnerability. So you can turbo, and it kind of like blocks you a little bit, but you get stopped, and then if you don't anticipate it and they hit you, you will get knocked right over, and it's not pleasant.
It's the opposite of what you want to do.
Exactly, and I have a good amount of invulnerability here, so you'll be seeing some hot strats. So you're seeing the Mikeys getting dropped, you're seeing the electric shields just plowing these woods and whatnot. And then you're getting that invulnerability action. My key count is not very good right now, so I'm probably gonna buy keys after this. It's always like right around here. I always get low. I have just enough, but then I'll have no keys for the next level. And I don't want to be short on that. So I'm just gonna buy keys and that's it.
Piccolo! How long have you been standing there?
Long enough to hear all of your senseless bickering.
But yeah, I'm not gonna stop grinding after this marathon. I'll keep pushing for the sub 250, like I said. So if anybody's enjoying
Very nice.
this, I will be doing more. Not ready to put it down. I think I'm not sure if Boyo had other marathon plans. I think he said something about that.
I have a local event that I'll be hosting here in May. I may or may not have the opportunity to continue working on this game after today. But
Yeah, that's
that'll be
understandable.
for like a month.
That's understandable.
But you know what? It's more satisfying. Like, I started playing this game back in 2015, and I've taken a lot of, gotten a lot of help from you and Glower and Turbo. Done work in this game since, you know, the idea of speedrunning this game first came, was conceptual. Knowing that there's somebody out there who took the strategies that I had and made them better. I mean, that's like what do you, the only thing you can ask for more than that is to be number one. I have a love-hate relationship with this game.
Yep.
Not gonna lie. So maybe I'll come back to it. Maybe not.
It seems like it'll be a seasonal thing, and it'll be like, well, do a run, you know, like, or maybe you'll run it for a month, and then do something else, come back, run it for a month. I mean, a game like this, 3 hours long, when you're invested in a run, it's hard to reset and just keep going and going and going and resetting.
You just gotta have the time for it. And unlike other runs, you know, if you're 30 minutes in, no deal, you can reset and you probably lost like half of the progress through. Where like this run, you have to ask yourself, okay, am I going to have enough time to do another run if I need to do another run, or time?
Which is usually no, there's no time, but yeah, I mean it's been awesome to have community, like we've had Turbo and having Glower come in is also a huge deal. I definitely give him a solid shout out because I mean he's just kind of looking at what what clips that are out there that we don't use and what can we bring in and what new strats can we bring in and lower the time down, and having Turbo doing PlayStation 2 and Xbox runs and looking at those consoles and having him looking into it, and then I just joined recently and have been really enjoying. I've been really having fun with doing runs of this, and it's been awesome. And hopefully we can get some more optimized runs and get it down there. And I know I'm gonna tinker with the Jester and see what's out there on that, because that's really been a field that really hasn't been looked into yet, which is is the Jester possibly faster for any percent? Is it reliable?
It's one of the things that I do enjoy about this game in general is that there's still a lot of territory that hasn't been fully looked at. I've done a lot of runs for the categories in the game that you can find on speedrun.com, but not had a lot of people look a little bit deeper, and it's nice to see a difference opinion from other runners.
It's not too late. We can still
and this is one of the games where I know all the runners just have different styles. Me, Turbo, and you all have different ways to approach the different routes, different ideas, different play styles, like all that, and it's just interesting to see the differences between that. And there's really no, I mean, some of it's kind of like, well, you're kind of on your own on some of the decision making. It's like it's not really slower or faster to do some things, and it's like kind of based on preference and what you want to do and what works better for you. And something I do may not work better for Boyo, or vice versa, that kind of thing. So this is one of the more technical levels here, Crystal Mine. It's got a lot of worms that can look you straight down the face
and wreck your day.
There's a lot of traps on this level too. There's a lot of those air what are they, guys? I don't even know what they are.
Geysers would be. It's like hot steam.
Hot steam sounds right. There's I mean, all throughout the game there just seems to be suicide bombers just placed conveniently in spots that are not ideal for you.
Yep.
It's like right when your Mikey wears off, well, there's a suicide bomber just to let you know.
Just let you know, hey, how's it going? I'm still here.
There's a couple of these enemy, and I think on this level, the archers, you can't electric shield, yet on Fisher, you can electric shield them and one-shot them. So I find that interesting. It seems like their values are different, even though they're the same thing. They take 2 electric shields, and here, where they take they go down in 1 in Fisher. I find that interesting. Because there's a couple spots where, okay, I don't have turbo, and there's an archer immediately in my path. There's no way around this, and electric armor's not going to cut it on this level. Like right here, there's like 4 of them in a row. There's this suicide bomb, there's another one. Oh man. My health is not ideal right now. I got 680. It's on the low end. If I can get through Fisher and get to the Yeti, we're fine. It's a bit risky though. You can lose health like no other here in this realm. I'm already down to 570. I mean, I might have to just equip and leave on invulnerability. Ooh, okay, this is getting... I'm under 500 health.
You got it.
Get out of my way. Okay, walk right past the switch, you don't hit it. That's what I like to see. Yeah, that invulnerability might come into play now. Like, just leave it on, because... I feel the risk would be possible Fisher death.
Which would not be good.
Yep. These wolves are snacking on me here. Yeah, that was not a good idea. That's fine.
Piccolo! How long have you been standing there?
Long enough to hear all of your senseless bickering.
I'm thinking low 253. Low mid 253. So if you're 2.5 behind, that could be a 255, 256. I think 256 for Boyo. Possibly. I don't know how far behind you.
We'll find out in a little.
It's going to come down to Nightmare Skip, and is that going to be... problem? Is it going to be a 1 minute loss?
You got it.
So this is the final level that you need to collect crystals. After this level, crystals are no longer a concern, so that's when, you know, it becomes apparent that we can skip a lot of the, like, if not the entire level, like in Carnival of the Lost, we just pretty much entirely skip that level. I wish there was a haunted house skip or a haunted ground skip, but
yeah,
haven't really
that would be nice.
found anything yet.
Nothing that can be done by one.
Yeah, On 2-player, I think the door in Haunted Grounds.
There's a spot in Haunted Grounds, and there's a spot you can flip on.
In the
Nightmare. Well, Nightmare and the Haunted House.
Ouch. Yeah, see, like, these archers go down with 1 electric shield, so I'm able to just kind of get right through them with no issue, but on the previous level, they would not.
Yeah, it's fascinating how...
I don't want any of you, but I'll take explosion in my face, I suppose. I don't want any of you.
Don't want any of it. Not picking up what you're throwing down.
I know you just want to give me a
I'm
nice
not
big,
gelling with the jab.
nice big polar bear hug, but it's gonna squash me, and it's not gonna be comfortable for me.
I know you're a big fan of big bear hugs, but...
Okay. Oh, get on. Ouch. Okay, we got around it. Okay, I'm gonna stock keys. That was mediocre.
Piccolo! How long have you been standing there?
Long enough to hear all of
Hot
your
on corner.
senseless bickering.
Like, something about how he says, you have defeated the vicious Yeti. It's and he slurs, like, I don't know, Sumner slurs some of his, S's.
It's very true. Shoutouts to the guy that voices return to the...
And it's like he says Arctic with like a Harctic, like there's an H in there somewhere. Like he throws it. Now entering the Harctic docks. So here we go. This is where the things kind of change up, switch up a little bit. Carnival skip is going to be coming up here. And we'll see how that goes. I'll rate it, you know, depending on how I feel about this. So I actually saved a couple of speed upgrades. So I have max speed stat, and I have a couple of speed items in my menu. So I turn up my speed.
You know, someone asked.
Or maybe I don't have this. Oh shit!
To the comment that I think is kind of interesting. Do you think the polar bears are on? I don't think they are. I think they're. I think they've just taken a lot of things. I don't know.
Give me a. I gotta get this carnival clip without speed. I don't have the speed item for some reason. Ah, it wanted to go. Yeah, I usually have extra item here. Crap. Yeah, this is not good. I guess I think it just automatically equipped for me, and that wasn't good. I don't have it here.
Yeah, to be fair, it's kind of hard to tell graphic-wise. No worries, we're go.
Let me try this again, maybe? Full turbo again? If I have to do the nut level normally, I'm not sure how to do that. I haven't done that in a while. I could go fight Spider Queen and get the speed item. That'd be a detour. Here's Boyo's come up right here.
All of a sudden, I caught back up. What? You got this. Come on.
Oh, it doesn't refill. That was the whole point when I did that. Oh well. Okay, I got it first try that time. Well, anyway, if that would have happened the first time, you know, just like that, that would have been beautiful, but unfortunately it didn't.
Such as, like...
But that's what you want to see. That's what I like to see right there. Yeah, I lost a couple minutes of that. It's okay, my nightmare clip is gonna make up for it.
How long have you been standing there?
Long enough to hear all of your senseless bickering.
So this is now like a 255 case. I don't know why that happened. When I collect those speed upgrades, it usually doesn't automatically become equipped. I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah, that's really odd. I know it can happen with turbo.
Yeah, it happens with turbo. It does happen with speed if you've had it, but the previous runs I've done that pretty much the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure why.
Hello?
I hit... Oh my gosh, what are you doing? Fine, Good news is, this is like the last 30, 40 minutes of the run. It actually...
Yep, this is the last part.
I saw that one coming. So I could drop a hammer here.
Oh, come on, General, really? You're just so fast.
Okay, we're good. I'm gonna buy super shots here. I'm not sure if I'm good right now, but I might as well just. There's a lot of hits you have to get on Scorn. Wraith isn't a pushover. He's got a few hits.
Piccolo! How long have you been standing there?
Long enough to hear all of your senseless bickering.
Drop that hammer. Ouch, that kind of hurts. Hammer here. This is kind of like the Hellway right here. No, it's coming up. It's got like 3 suicide bombers. Right here, okay. Yep. as long as I hit level 40 after school, which I should be on that track.
Piccolo! How long have you been standing there?
Long enough to hear all of your senseless bickering.
The nightmare clip. The one clip that we thought originally could be done with only 2 players.
As a very recent strat here.
And this can be done on all versions, so like GameCube exclusive or anything like that.
So it's kind of, so I got to make sure I grab the runestone, and then much like the clip in Mausoleum, I think Boyo did it, so I'm kind of seeing how it works possibly, but this is a much bigger use of that strat. It saves a lot more time. Okay, I got it first try, so.
Nice.
Redeems myself for the carnival. Am I gonna get? Okay, that's good. That's solid. So shoutouts to that nightmare clip being pretty damn solid in the marathon. That's
Right.
a big deal. That's a good showcase right there. I started using invulnerability with it because I found, I guess, if you get hit by an enemy while trying to go for it, sometimes they knock you out of the way. So I just kind of leave my invulnerability up.
Right.
Just to be cautious.
Still
That's
stuck
close
in
to
the
goal.
wall. Fuck. Oh my god. Just...
It's over.
Yeah, that was a goal. That's solid.
What, 9,000?
Thanks for telling me, Mr. Sumner. Yeah, I mean, I can kind of tell with a nightmare skip when I strafe and I look at the movement. If it's like the correct movement, then I know I have the right angle. So there's kind of a cue that I use. If I'm not getting that movement, then I know like my angle's wrong, and that's why the strafing isn't right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, come after me, General. I think I've only forgotten the runestone on this level once. It was on it already, like, I was already super frustrated with sort of a run. last level of Dream. What am I doing? Okay.
By far, most people's favorite. It's like when you talk about this game, Maze of Illusion is the level that most people remember. Game's troll.
Spot. You either need invulnerability or you need a Mikey up. That's for sure.
Yeah.
There's no getting around like 4 suicide bombers or any like narrow walkway like that.
You think of Valley of Fire? Yeah, Valley of Fire is probably the most universal. Cause I cannot think of a game that doesn't have that level in it. Can't think of a game or a version of Legend that doesn't have Valley of Fire in it. I think they all do.
So I just gotta remember to save. Saves time here. Oh, Glower's in here.
Shoutouts.
Missed my super clean nightmare skip. But yeah, I think we're just gonna slightly beat this estimate here, just a little bit,
just a touch.
Piccolo! How long have you been standing there?
Long enough to hear all of your senseless bickering.
I want to be level 38 in this. Yes, I am. So that's good.
Piccolo! How long have you been standing there?
Long enough to hear all of your senseless bickering.
Okay. It's time to take on Scorn a couple times.
You are now entering the desecrated temple.
Couple of short levels.
Yep.
Yeah, that was good. And I skipped the X-ray glasses. That's pretty hype. Hyped about that. I like to pre-equip before I go in here.
You know, guys, it's not too late. We can still turn around and go home if we want. Right?
Be strong, Yamcha.
So I'm a little bit under leveled, unfortunately. I'm only level 39. That's not good. That's not good. I like to hit level 40 right there. I must have been just short. So here, I question if saving is faster. But it's kind of sad. So I can do that. So here, I really like having this invisibility in the last level because you can sneak by a lot of these enemies without having to hammer. If you ever hammer, I mean, I'm not sure how many frames it costs to hammer, but you have to stop and hammer. So it's ideal not to do it if you don't have to, but
Right.
I mean, if you have to do it, if you're completely stuck and there's just so many enemies that it's just getting ridiculous, it's time to hammer. So that, and they give you a good amount of turbos, which really helps. Although you have to use them, but. Like here, I'm trying to cut through on the left or right sides of these generators. I'm trying to turbo and whatnot through these enemies. if I would have hammered one more thing in Desecrated Temple, I probably would have hit 40.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
So it's something like an 8-second time loss, but it's not a big deal in the big picture here. I was close to being on the correct level up.
Piccolo! How long have you been standing there?
Long enough to hear all of your senseless bickering.
Alright. So unfortunately this time it bleeds into the next level. Because I get this cutscene here.
Piccolo!
How
long have you been standing there?
Long enough to hear all of your
About 8 seconds
senseless
right here.
bickering.
This is another clip here by going to that inventory in a specific spot. We skip getting the 28 lion icons. Very, very close to the end.
Just 3 more levels to. You're about 40 seconds ahead of me, I'd say.
Yeah, not too far ahead. You got close there. I almost went panic mode in Carnival. There was a, well, should I actually just do the level? Thought process there. I want this. Yes, I want this. So at this point, I always just like to use whatever I have left over. Like if I got invulnerability, I like to just let that go and let the I should be good on super shots. Garm doesn't take that many hits, but if I run out on Garm, that would be sad. But I've got hammers to back it up, so it's not like it's complete.
He'll be fine.
Okay, so invulnerability really helps in that spot, because that general is honestly like the hardest part of this level. Like getting past him without getting caught up. All these clips are super easy. You just, you know, run through these and you'll get through. But what I read is that Hido, I think, is going to bed now, and Lucas is taking Unlink is taking over.
Cool. Thanks for all of your assistance. Much appreciated.
And Lumo is up on deck. I don't know if he thinks that we're going to be using up the whole 3.5 hours, but that's not the case. So I'll have to track him down. Because I'm literally like 8 minutes away from finishing, so.
Right.
So time loss is because I got
How
the
long
level
have
40
you been standing there?
Long enough to hear all
cutscene.
of your senseless bickering.
Okay, Lumo, he is here, so we're good to go. I'd say, I think, less than 15 minutes at this point, let's just say that. Get on my way, it's time for a hammer. But yeah, I mean, I do want to say this game's come a long way. Recently, it was not even that long ago that sub 3 wasn't even a thing, so to be able to do that in a marathon, no problem, is, you know, it just shows how we've brought it down, and it's getting more and more optimized, and, you know, things are happening, so. It's unfortunate Boyo's going to be taking a lead for a minute, but, you know, it's understandable. So.
Oh, I have no doubt that the run is in good hands, and you'll do it justice.
I'm pretty content about at least getting sub 250. Is that as far as it can go? It's questionable that a 248 maybe a possibility, but that's a pretty tight time to get. I mean, there's just so many things that can go wrong in a 2 hour and 50-minute run, and to have every segment just be amazing is it's not quite so easy, but
Run. The God run.
okay, I'm hammering a little bit more than usual. Gonna go ahead and let's see. I think I should buy invulnerability just to have this final level.
We march
Oh no, I'm not gonna. Okay, I've leveled up. Never mind. I'm not doing anything. Just gonna leave it as it lies.
Piccolo! How long have you been standing there?
Long enough to hear all of your senseless bickering.
Anyway, this is the last level. There's a runestone on this level. That's the only thing left to pick up, and just gotta grab the runestone, finish the level, and defeat Garm, and GG. Just gonna let invulnerability keep going until it wears out. But I don't know, like, I need to start using it in the earlier levels because it seems like invulnerability can save a pretty good chunk of time if used well.
Anything that slows you down, having invulnerability would help. Minions in my way. So good.
Yeah, I'm surprised my invulnerability's still up, so I really didn't need it. Don't do this to me. Ooh, I got the note skip there. That rolls pretty deep. That's one of the more harder ones to get. All right, well, it was fun.
Indeed.
It actually came close because I almost lost my marbles in Carnival.
Mm-hmm. You do it. Cool. It's a good way to finish. Well, I want to thank you guys for the opportunity to allow me to be in this marathon. It's been fun.
Yeah, it's a pleasure having to race you and let's see. Okay, done. Okay, 2:55:36.
I would say that was all rather anticlimactic, wouldn't you?
I really hope that's not the
think
best
that's
you can do. Because if it is, you better
like a
give
2:18
up now.
in game time. We'll find out. The good news is that makes up for some of the setbacks we had earlier today. Like I said, on the schedule we were like half an hour behind. That puts us right back up there. And I finished with 2:16. Really? I'm in disbelief.
Low 2:16. It's got to be a low 2:16.
Okay. Well, GG. We'll get Lumo in here. I thought Boyo was gonna get me there for a minute. He had the head start. I mean, I was kind of went the other way when he forgot the crystal, and I think it was one of he didn't save on Dragon, I believe. Save and load.
Yeah, I didn't save unloaded in a few spots actually, so
Yeah,
being a minute and a half behind is not that bad. $2:17, so minute behind, minute and a half behind in game time. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Well played.
Close race.
GG's.